We'll drive more and pay more. That's the deal with a new mileage tax set for drivers in Oregon. For now, it's a voluntary program, but some lawmakers are hoping it will eventually replace the state's gas tax. Other states are looking into it. Charles Payne, you're not so sure about it. We should explain here that you are charged by the mile. So even if you have one of these plug-ins that gets like 5,000 miles a gallon, you're taxed just like me with the 8 foot a gallon.
So much for that part of the
that worked
pitch.
out like a charm. Yeah,
I think it's a bad idea. Just like the Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel raising taxes there, it's going to crush people who can least afford it. You know, someone who lives 20 miles from their job at Walmart is going to get hammered. In New York City, the richest people live closest to their jobs. But the point is, it's stupid. It curbs commerce. It curbs initiative. It's going to have a defeating
that's very
effect.
true. I never thought about that.
It's much more fair, though. It's much more fair in terms of.
Think of that. He just said something. The richest people in the city live close to their jobs. All these billionaires, they just, they're blocking.
So they're not using the roads.
Right.
There you go.
So you don't. It's much more fair because, again, people, as we move toward more electric vehicles, you're not paying any gas tax at all, and you're damaging.
Wait, I'm just thinking what he said. That means Rupert Murdoch. Just thinking that through.
He's got a country house.
Yeah,
it's much more fair. The roads get damaged because of use, and you got to pay to repair them. So the people who have electric cars
Tolls,
don't have to
gas
pay.
tax, and all that stuff.
The people who have electric cars don't pay gas tax,
electric
Charles.
Cars?
So you make them pay.
I don't know.
Wait. What about the people who are driving regular gas-powered vehicles?
What you mean in terms of the mileage tax?
In Oregon, they're
Like a
all
12-year-old
paying
gas
the
guzzler.
They're paying, no, if you have a gasoline-powered vehicle, you pay a gas tax. But if you move to a mileage tax, it would be much more fair. And gas tax declining source of revenue, though.
Okay.
You need to wait because people are driving more fuel-efficient vehicles. We don't have enough gas tax money in this country.
I didn't understand what you said, but I agree.
Okay.
Gasparino.
It's a regressive tax because it hits poor people and middle-class people more than rich people who can walk
well, the
to
gas
work.
tax is
That's one. The other
too.
thing is, I agree, but here's the other thing. It's fiscally stupid because, states are going to budget for this stuff, create programs, and then people are going to drive less. And guess what? They get less tax. It's the same thing with the cigarette tax. People cut back on cigarette usage, and guess what? There were budget deficits because of that.
Yeah, we want to do something that's fair to the oligarchs, I guess. All right, Ben Stein, what do you make of this whole debate? Good or bad idea in Oregon?
I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. First of all, I'm not aware that they're not going to tax people twice, both the gas tax and the mileage tax.
I think they're taxing you twice.
And that seems to me deeply unfair. I mean, your basic hippie has an electric car, but your basic guy who works at Walmart or the Dairy Queen does not. And
the hippies are driving Teslas, Ben.
It's very regressive. No, there are other cars. There's the Volt, I think. But anyway, but to me, by the way, the main thing that worries me is the intrusion on people's privacy. How are they going to check what your mileage is?
I know how you do it. I know how you do it. Every year when you have to renew your license plate, they check your odometer. There. That's how you do it without really invading your privacy.
Then I would sell my car right before I...
Okay, so...
Good point,
Neil,
Dagan.
First of all,
Adam?
Charles, fair point that you've never met a new tax that you liked. I mean, is that a fair statement on my part?
Well, someone is looking after the billionaires. I don't know about you, Adam, but
okay. So just to get that out of the way, we can guarantee that Charles is going to be against this. Secondly, the gas tax has been a very effective usage tax for many years, and we are moving toward using less gasoline in cars. So this is just reasonable public policy. And Charlie, quit calling people names. I mean, come on.
What did I call it? I can't remember. I call people names so much. I forgot this one.
And
I called you stupid again?
Incompetent. Come on.
No, wait, what did I say?
No, I said lazy.
You said it was stupid. You're offending these Oregon legislators.
No, I didn't say stupid. I said regressive.
Here's one thing I will ask you. Here's one thing I will ask you. Dagan, I'll take this up with you. If the idea of these fuel-efficient cars really was to save you money on gas, and in states like Oregon, if this goes through and is expanded, you're really not saving on gas, then you might just say, well, give me the guzzler then because I'm not getting any benefit from it.
That's true, but a guzzler tends to be a bigger automobile, so if it's doing more damage to the road, you're paying for that damage because of the mileage fee. So.
Well, I know.
And by the way,
you can mandate the mileage.
You can mandate the fuel economy standards.
They're not doing that in Oregon.
No, but broadly speaking, if that was a trend nationwide, more states are experimenting with this. They could just raise the fuel economy standards and force people to drive more fuel-efficient cars.
But my last thought, Gasparino, would be on Adam's reference to the gas tax. It's yielded a great deal of things. I just looked at it as a slush fund for a host of projects that have nothing to do with roads and bridges.
And it's regressive because it hits poor people, and I think that's a stupid idea, of hitting poor people more than rich people. And fiscally, you know, people cut back. People's behavior changed. You know, people will use their car less, and it's going to hurt the state.
Billionaires started walking to work.
Yeah, no, but it's not billionaires. We're talking about. And by the way, do you know anybody that owns an electric car? I don't know anybody.
I actually do.
I know.
I go to Whole Foods and Darien every
day.
day, and there are gas guzzlers in the electric car.
There are no electric car owners in Darien where you are?
Yes.
I mean, that's the great Poupon crowd.
That's what I'm saying. Why isn't there one?
I think you have to look harder at Darien. I think you'll find the electric cars.
Shouldn't get a free ride.
I don't know anybody has electric.
You can drop the attitude, young lady. I mean, all right.